Welcome back, hyenas. Today we're going to be talking about how the Mr. Beast situation has gotten so much worse. Speaking of which, check out what happens when I add a pair of black frames to this Wednesday Addams outfit. It gets so much worse.
That's a lot of nuts!
There has been a number of updates and new pieces of information with what I'm calling the Lunchley situation, but is more accurately the journalism and the uncovering between Mr. Beast and Logan Paul, done by Rosanna Panzino and Dogpack404, to tell all about the real shady business practices of both Lunchley, Prime, and Mr. Beast's entire YouTube empire. More interesting than before, not only do we have new pieces of information about the shady business practices, but have actually learned that Rosanna Panzino and Dogpack404's journalism trying to uncover the matter has itself a few pieces of misinformation that have really struck an arrow in the knee of what would otherwise be the biggest cancellation in the history of online content creation. For those that are just tuning into the drama, the basic gist of it is that an ex-Mr. Beast employee by the name of Dogpack404 has uploaded a number of videos to YouTube basically talking about the shady business practices in which Mr. Beast involves himself in order to get away with things like faking videos, running illegal lotteries, and hiring people that have a history of mistreatment, sexual harassment, and worse, to be part of his company that is ideally directed to make videos targeted at kids, and overall it's a general bad vibe. And with Mr. Beast considered one of the most popular YouTube channels of its time, this has become a huge piece of major controversy that has slowly started to become bigger and bigger over time as more and more information is released. For the most part, the first couple videos that were uploaded were met with a tremendous amount of criticism, with people basically saying, yeah, so what if his videos aren't 100% real, accurate, or not manipulated using AI or video editing trickery? At the end of the day, it's just entertainment. But once Dogpack404 teamed up with Rosanna Panzino to criticize not only Mr. Beast on the whole, but as well as Lunchley, his mutual endeavor with Logan Paul and KSI, it has come to fruition that there is a tremendous number of things that do actually make a difference when it comes to whether or not you feel ethical in involving yourself in watching and supporting somebody like Mr. Beast. Obviously, with Rosanna Panzino specifically, the manipulation of video editing and videos overall becomes a little bit more than just for the sake of entertainment when they're altering the actual results of what is supposed to be a legitimate competition, something that Rosanna Panzino has experienced firsthand. The second video that Dogpack404 would release would be interviewing an ex-employee and contestant that basically went through the better part of psychological torture to make a video that ultimately didn't even get uploaded and wasn't fairly compensated until after that video was revealed. The third video that Dogpack404 would release 3 months ago at this point is titled Mr. Beast's Secret CEO, in which he takes the time to break down a number of the higher-ups working under Mr. Beast Productions to make his videos come to fruition, a number of which have a tremendous amount of background that you wouldn't expect out of people that you're hiring for what is effectively a video production company for videos targeted towards children. There are a number of YouTubers that have uploaded videos talking about their experience with Mr. Beast, some uploading videos talking about not being paid and having to reach out on the internet to receive their winnings, with YouTubers like Nicole Raffi talking about generalized misogyny coming from team members and other production staff at Mr. Beast, and it's with this collaborative amount of information that people can take a look at this latest video by Dogpack404 talking about the fact that Mr. Beast knew about higher-ups that he was hiring that had criminal backgrounds, specifically sexual assault allegations or worse, and have just gone ahead and swept that under the rug for the sake of having somebody hired that he thinks would make his videos better. The biggest blunder with this, however, is Dogpack404's analysis by an individual by the name of James Warren, who he doesn't have a specific amount of like a picture or like a guarantee, but he does spend a tremendous amount of the video talking about how this James Warren has a domestic violence case, a criminal record, this and that. But because he wasn't able to match up the face with a picture of the actual James Warren working under Mr. Beast, it turns out, in an update that he made just a month ago at this point, that the James Warren that he spent all this time breaking down and revealing had all these criminal cases and what have you against him isn't actually the same James Warren that he suspected to be working under Mr. Beast. And obviously, with everybody rallying behind this Dogpack404 guy for trying to take down one of the biggest YouTube content creators and reveal that he's not actually a great person, this is a pretty big mistake to make. Obviously, with the first video that Dogpack404 would come out with, plenty of people were already calling him a clout chaser, were already calling him somebody who doesn't work with Mr. Beast anymore and is now just trying to find his 15 minutes of fame. But Dogpack404 continued to upload these videos, not put monetization on any of them, made an effort to make it seem as though he's doing this to try to bring about a greater good rather than trying to start a YouTube career for himself. And with these long, lengthy, seemingly well-researched videos with insider knowledge and a tremendous amount of interviews, doing his best to tiptoe around providing his sources and who he talked to for the safety of everybody that was being a part of this uncovering, it looks bad when you go and make an entire video that breaks down the domestic violence cases of an individual that supposedly works under Mr. Beast, just to learn a few weeks later that that's not even the same guy. Now, it's not like everything that Dogpack404 has revealed and unveiled over the course of the last few months just completely gets thrown out of the window here. Nor does it seem like he's completely off base with the accusations that he is levying against Mr. Beast. There have been individuals on the Mr. Beast team that have acted in ways that definitely should not be aligned with the ideology of making videos for children, such as Ava Chris Tyson's association and affinity for the most degenerate, not safe for work art and the most degenerate, not safe for work artists that you can imagine, and now taking a step back from the production team, as well as other higher-ups, such as an individual by the name of Delaware, who evidently was one of the production leads or something to that tune on the Mr. Beast team, and was referred to as Delaware and wore a mask in the videos because he had a sexual assault charge and wasn't allowed in the state of Delaware. So it's clear that Mr. Beast does have people working for him that definitely have information about them that means they shouldn't be within 500 feet of a production made to make videos for children on the internet, but that doesn't change the fact that Dogpack404 was completely off base with a relatively lengthy video and a tremendous amount of research uncovering similar criminal aspects of somebody who worked for Mr. Beast's team that then ultimately turned out to be a completely different guy. And that has led people to be filled with a tremendous amount of criticism and skepticism when it comes to any further information that Dogpack404 comes out with, especially given the sort of sheepish nature about revealing where he gets this information because of so much of it being from ex-employees that maybe don't necessarily want to be in the spotlight for speaking out against YouTube's biggest creator. Enough recap, you guys should know everything that you need to at this point. Let's move on to the new developments. 3 days ago, Rosanna Panzino uploads a video titled Mr. Beast Knew All Along, 1,000 leaked messages, where she sits down with Dogpack404 and looks through what appears to be a leaked group chat between Mr. Beast employees, apparently a work group chat that Mr. Beast himself was in, and reveals a tremendous amount about the way that they act and behave and speak amongst themselves when they believe that they're in private. The video is 22 minutes long, feel free to watch it for full context if you want to, but the biggest few pieces of information that people have taken away from this is the continued degeneracy and not safe for work pictures of underage characters that Ava Chris Tyson would post in what appeared to be a work group chat, and Mr. Beast going as far as to state things like "Chris would love this," basically doubling down on the idea that Mr. Beast knew that Ava Chris Tyson was into these degenerate artworks online, underage characters, and what have you, well before it came to light and ultimately led to Ava Chris Tyson stepping away from the Mr. Beast production as a whole. But the biggest issue is just a few minutes into the video where Ava Chris Tyson posts a picture of what she believes to be an underage Ivanka Trump in the nude, stating that the image was censored in post, so evidently posted an uncensored image of a 13-year-old girl and then just sort of let that go in a group work chat. Obviously, that's horrible. However, in line with the issues that Dogpack404 has had with his journalism over time, it turns out that even though Dogpack404 states that he did a reverse image search and looked into this to the best of his ability, after this video came out and garnered 1 million views, he would post on Twitter stating that he has since found the source of that image, and it's actually from a modeling agency where Ivanka Trump was in fact 18 years old, which again feels like a little bit of kind of way too bad journalism, considering that Rosanna Panzino stated that she would be taking this information and sending it to the FBI on Twitter because of this specifically, and for you guys to clickbait it in the thumbnail of the video that you release, only to then double back and go, oh, actually, it wasn't underage images, she was 18. Not a great look. Now again, The unfortunate thing here is that getting anything wrong when you're working with something with this level of severity casts a level of doubt over everything that you're talking about. This misinformation doesn't take away from the fact that Ava Chris Tyson was sharing explicit, not safe for work, and seemingly underage characters for the most part, not real people to my knowledge, in what appears to be a work group chat with Mr. Beast present doesn't look great. However, if you're gonna make a post basically stating that you have underaged images being shared not safe for work in a group chat, and then double back after stating that you were gonna send it to the FBI with, actually, that's not true at all, that's just clickbait at that point. Recent developments have also cast doubt on whether or not this was a work group chat, or rather just a group chat of individuals that happened to work for Mr. Beast and was evidently completely off hours and just something that they goofed around in and specifically used to send not safe for work images and memes. Dogpack404 and Rosanna Panzino have both made posts on Twitter talking to local sources that all claim that even if they stated that this wasn't for work, it solely consisted of employees of Mr. Beast and very much was a work-focused chat where they used to talk about what have you. In my opinion, doesn't really make that big of a difference. The difference between a work chat and a chat that happens to have everybody from work is whether or not you send spicy shit in it. And it isn't so much that Mr. Beast employees are engaging in degenerate image sharing in a group chat that they have together. I mean, it's not like every moment of every image that you send has to go in line with the work that you do. But because Ava Chris Tyson specifically has already been canceled because of the artwork and the things that she has been liking on Twitter, and that's what caused her to have to step away from Mr. Beast Productions, and Mr. Beast claimed that he didn't necessarily know that Ava Chris Tyson was involved to this level, has now been debunked because of these messages from God knows how long ago, showing that he was well aware of her proclivities to these things. That's sort of the big deal here. My opinion. The original thought process of Ava Chris Tyson sharing this image of Ivanka Trump was with a message from her stating that she believed that Ivanka Trump was 13 years old in that image, which still, even if it turns out that it was from a modeling agency when she was 18, means that she shared that image under the impression that she was 13, and even though there's a dismissive tone of how can this exist on the internet, you still took that image, found it by whatever method, and then sent it to a bunch of people that you work with, which still feels in line with the level of things that Ava would ultimately end up canceled for. But that doesn't take away from the fact that they spent far too much time talking about the fact that there were underage nude images in this group work chat that ultimately turned out to not be so. Ultimately, there's a bigger conversation going on right now between Rosanna Panzino, Dogpack404, and their detractors, basically trying to specify whether or not this was a work chat or just a group chat of people who happen to work together. And as I already stated, I don't know if that makes that big of a difference. Like, are we really making the specificity that, like, they can be this degenerate with themselves off hours and then clock into work and then immediately be completely media trained and never speak about these things while actually on production? No, come on, let's be adults, he says while dressed in a fucking dress. In more recent developments, it's been posted on Twitter and what appears to be the world's most unprofessional news website whatsoever that claims to be in development focusing on this article, so I already don't know how true this is. But there's been a post that states that Mr. Beast is being investigated for ties for 50 plus crypto wallets linked to potential insider trading netting over $23 million in total profit. According to people online, trying to stick a insider trader claim on cryptocurrency specifically is very tough to do. It's a term that's generally used in stockbroking and stocks that basically speaks to people who have information that isn't general to the public or otherwise influence stocks in a manner that is beneficial to what they hold. Think Wolf of Wall Street, basically. Mr. Beast evidently involved himself in these matters through crypto, where basically he would pump and dump cryptos in one way or another, and because he originally posted that he had bought a CryptoPunk on Twitter many years ago, people were able to take the wallet ID that bought that CryptoPunk and then tie it to a bunch of other wallets that evidently had been scamming people through projects in one way or another, accumulating to a total of $23 million. Which is kind of a big deal, because not only did nobody really even speak of this being the case other than that one instance of Mr. Beast doing some illegal gambling in an unseen piece of footage also shared by Rosanna Panzino, but the fact that this hasn't been brought to light brings about the question, well, two questions. A, how exactly was Mr. Beast going about this? Because he has a tremendous amount of public influence, and he hasn't necessarily been outspoken about buying crypto or doing this and that, so how was it he was able to influence these projects? But then B, with a huge number of these stories coming out around Mr. Beast also having a level of skepticism and pieces of information that weren't true, and the general unprofessionalism of this website that I've never heard of before, is this also fake news? At the end of the day, is it possible that all of this is just BS and clout chasing in an effort to take down Mr. Beast because everybody's kind of jealous? No, not really. The vast majority of the claims levied by Rosanna, Dogpack 404, the FBI, the people in the class action lawsuit working with Amazon about the Beast games, there's still a tremendous amount of legitimacy that speaks to the unprofessional manner in which Mr. Beast operates to make his videos a reality. The fact that he edits videos for entertainment purposes and then alters the reality of competitions that he holds is real. The fact that he went about his lotteries and his giveaways when buying his merch is technically an illegal lottery. The fact that he fakes certain videos in his philanthropy videos to make it seem as if what he's doing is better than what he actually did is something that has some legitimate claims to it. And despite the fact that a couple of YouTubers coming together to settle a beef that they have with the guy overall aren't the best journalists in the world, doesn't necessarily take away from everything else that's also being levied against Mr. Beast in this moment. But like anything on the web, it seems as though you should probably take at least some of the stuff that comes out without variable claims with the teeniest bit of salt. I will say that the claim that Mr. Beast has been scamming people through crypto is probably one of the biggest things against him personally, simply because Mr. Beast has spent so much time talking about the fact that he reinvests every dollar that he makes from his YouTube channel back into his YouTube channel, and the fact that a lot of people have looked at his philanthropy channel that he uses to defend himself against the claims that he's technically a billionaire as sort of something that he uses to just dismiss any criticism against him as a person. If it turns out that he is scamming people through crypto to the tune of $20+ million, I feel like it's safe to say at that point, maybe it would have been better for you to just drop the ultimate messiah persona and just be a normal YouTuber and stick some of that in your pocket. I really don't think anybody's gonna mind. But before that's the case, it's clear that Mr. Beast has a tremendous amount of cleaning up to do with his work environment and the people that he hires around him, because they do not seem to be the most savory individuals for your kids' channel. That's all the updates I got for now. Remember to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one. Big thank you to the patrons scrolling in the back. Happy Halloween, everybody. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.